There's just so much in the world to talk about that like anyone like saying like, oh, music, there's no more to talk about in rap. Everyone said everything. It's like, you guys are stupid and not paying attention to the world around you. It's like an infinite pool of information, and like the subtleties is really where I like love it.
All the heat pipes cross speech freeze like water. Sheep led right to the bleach white slaughter. Even the doc gritting seed in the blotter. Four walls starve, each eat like Donner. Feed on each other, speed through the red lights. Sleep in the gutter, cameras on the great heights. A sea of brake lights, every door locked tight. Keep them locked down tight. Now,
I grew up in Minneapolis, and then outside of Minneapolis, and suburbs are boring, man. And so, you know, everyone did what they could as soon as they were 17, 18 years old and moved out of the suburbs. Those of us that were lucky enough to make it out, and everyone else is just stuck there doing some boring things. Well, my parents, they were musicians before they had all three of us, and then they both had to kind of get jobs. So music was like big in my house. There was guitars and, you know, all types of different instruments, and records were played every night. You know, we didn't watch TV, we listened to records. And then I started playing instruments when I was a kid, and had little bands and stuff, and they were all terrible, obviously. And then, and then I just started rapping instead. Doomtree is like a collection of solo artists that came together with a kind of gang theory, co-op theory. That's like, if you have a show, I have a show, and vice versa. And we pooled all the money from the shows to print our first CDs. And we took all the money from the first CDs and printed more CDs, and just kept it going like that. We sort of became a record label out of necessity because no one would sign us. And now we're a record label out of desire because like we don't want to sign with anybody.
This is the place where we landed, where the drama's heavy-handed, home of the heavy metal hand cannon. Politicians banter and ban it, put their slogan on the banner, assessing the damage.
So it's a record that Laserbeak and I made. He did all the beats, I did all the raps. We put it out in February on Doomtree Records, and it's been pretty warmly received. It's sort of a record about, I feel like it's a hopeful record about your environment, the way that it affects you and the way you can affect it. And there's a lot of negativity. It's just what you bring to it to change, to shape your environment. You can change and shape anything that you want, and you can kind of move within this weird zone that we're in and navigate it and make it as beautiful as you want to. Sometimes it starts with talking to someone. If I was overhearing you guys talk or something, or you and I were having a conversation, there's a lot of subtlety and nuance that doesn't really come up in actual language, and sometimes it does. Sometimes the actual language is like a song starter for me. I hear someone say something and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like, let me think about that and start a song about that. And sometimes it's about nuance, about why you just went to the place you went with, like, did you get defensive? What are your boundaries, and where do you feel sensitive and where do you not? Where do your defenses lie, and what are those mechanisms and what created those mechanisms? And that kind of stuff is really interesting to me. And, you know, I don't know, I feel like there's just so much in the world to talk about that like anyone like saying like, oh, music, there's no more to talk about in rap. Everyone said everything. It's like, you guys are stupid and not paying attention to the world around you. It's like an infinite pool of information, and like the subtleties is really where I like love it.
I got a friend who says the end is near. There ain't no time to hold back, and he's feeling good today. He might smoke the whole pack. 8:15 and we're waiting for the bus, and Jake tells me he ain't waiting for nothing. Missed too much, all the running and franticness. For who, for what? He said, I don't get them folks. They just fit like...
I just gotta keep it honest with like who I am and what I think about and who I am as a person. And I feel like that's hip hop as hell. Like an honest representation of you and your surroundings is what rap music came from and where it's going. Right after this, I finish up this tour I'm doing with Astronautilus. Then I go on this another tour with Dessa, and then, I don't know, work on other stuff, tour more, see what's up.
Trying to find our way. Let me tell you about the joy and the hurt and the feeling of being washed away. You can swear the whole world's a stage, another day in a masquerade. You can see both sides of their face, a day short and $1 late. Here we are looking lost today.
Hey, I'm Sims, and you can check out my show on Baeblemusic.com and totally get your face melted. Doomtree all day.
I walk with you, and you walk with me, and we'll get there. Heartland, speeding the plow. Grinding all day, cops beating him down. Big dream someday he's gonna reach new ground, but he's smoking all day to even him out. Regreet with a pound, he's like, what up, Ock? 10 to 10, I'm up and down.